What if I told you that storytelling isn't some mysterious talent reserved for the best-selling authors or TED speakers? It's actually one of the simplest, most powerful tool that you can use to hook anyone to your every single word. The truth is, most advice out there sounds way too complicated, full of fancy structures and rules. But here's what changes everything. The best stories don't just summarize events, they zoom you in straight into the moment and then let the audience feel like they are there in the trenches with you. And the crazy part? Science backed this up completely. Neuroscience shows that when someone hears a well told story, multiple parts of their brain light up at once. Not just the language centers, but the sensory cortex, motor cortex, emotional centers like amygdala, and even areas tied up to empathy and social understanding. Researchers at the Princeton discovered neural coupling, where the listener's brain starts mirroring the storyteller's brain in the real time. It's like your brain syncs up. Paul Zach's groundbreaking work on oxytocin, the moral molecule, proves that emotionally rich stories triggers oxytocin releases, which builds trust, empathy, and connection. Dopamine kicks in for the anticipation and memory. And mirror neurons fire so the audience literally simulate the action and feelings. That's why great stories don't just inform, they transport the people and make them care. Give me just 8 minutes and I'll show you exactly the 5 storytelling techniques that can create this effect. These are the ones that can turn an ordinary story into an insanely memorable one. The best part is that you can start using these techniques immediately. They are simple, neuroscience backed, and they work in any situation. May that be a sales call, team meeting, or content presentation. Anywhere that you would want people to listen to you and remember. So let's start. Technique number 1 is location. Start by stating exactly where you are physically. 3 years ago, I was standing outside the investors' meeting room and heart was already racing. Or last month, I was sitting at the kitchen table, staring at my bank account balance, thinking that something is going in the wrong direction. Why does this matter? The moment you name the location, your audience sensory cortex lights up. Their brain starts visualizing automatically. They picture their own version of that room or table. Research on the sensory rich storytelling shows that this pull people closer into the scene as if they are there. Skip the overload of tiny details. Just the location is enough to activate their immersive brain response. Technique number 2 is actions. Tell us exactly what you or the character are doing in that specific moment. Use strong verbs. I'm in the middle of the sales floor and I pick up my phone and dial the first cold lead of the day. Or at the airport gate, pacing back and forth while I was waiting for the boarding to start. This creates the forward momentum. It fires up the motor cortex and mirror neurons. Your audience brain starts simulating the action as if they are doing it themselves. That's why the story feels alive and urgent instead of like a boring recap. You're not wasting their time, you are taking them straight into the action. Technique number 3 is thoughts. Share what was going through your mind in that exact moment. Raw, unfiltered human thoughts. Instead of I was nervous, say I thought, oh man, if this flops, I'm going to look like a complete idiot in front of everyone. Or instead of I felt stuck, say I thought this is it. Another month of scraping by. How did I let it get bad this time again? Here's the science. Sharing internal thoughts activates the medial prefrontal cortex, the area tied up to social understanding and empathy. It makes the story relatable because we all have those messy, neurotic, hopeful thoughts every day. Avoid polished, professional sounding thoughts. Give us the juicy, real ones. Your brain will thank you for a stronger neural coupling. Technique number 4 is emotions. Don't just name the emotion, show it on the body and face. Instead of saying, I was terrified, say, in that moment, my hands started shaking so bad I had to shove them up in my pockets. Or instead of saying, she was excited, say, her eyes went wild. She leaned forward across the table and let it out this huge laugh like she could not believe it. Emotions are what make stories stick. They trigger the amygdala and the oxytocin release, creating this emotional journey which Paul Zak research highlighted. When you show the physical signs, the audience feel this too. Mirror neurons at the work again. It's visual, visceral, and the way more powerful tool than just telling. Technique number 5 is dialogues. Use the exact word people said in that crucial moment. Instead of, my boss was impressed, say, my boss looked straight at me and said, wait, you actually closed that deal? Or instead of saying, my friend was shocked, say, my friend stared at me and said, you're telling me that you moved out of the country with 5 grants and no plans? Dialogue is one of the most powerful tools out there because it makes the scene feel real and immediate. It strengthens the neural coupling and lets the audience hear the tone, emotions, and the exact vibes. Keep it juicy, concise, and natural. Skip the corporate speak. Real dialogues pull the people into a deeper conversation, and that summary will never reach them. Those 5 elements, location, action, thoughts, emotions, and dialogues, are the foundation. When you combine them, your story does not just get heard, it gets felt. The brain treats it like a real experience. These 5 techniques let you tell the insanely good stories. But if you want to go deeper and become a better storyteller, which 99% of the people are not there, I have got another video coming up which breaks down the advanced moves. Drop a comment below by which technique you are going to try first. Let's make every story unforgettable, and I'll see you in the next one.